Okay, abusia be makwa abashonko so edeba POG Media so abusia yembonra eye yensemu no Joyce Bawah Montari ono John Dramani Mahama nunua ba chese onene kwa onene ba right now no ode Abronye DC akwa kopiemu ewo quarter wasiu no 10 million Ghana cedis for defamation abusia say Abronye DC enya sa sikana obe face jail terms enye asem keto akra eno ena chese ya project ato ye screen no enchen de amamo no Abronye DC nanse ne honsem ebae obeka ensem edeto John Dramani Mahama so national securities for arrest no but we the John Dramani Mahama ni nua ba ankasa ena Abronye DC akwa keka ne honsem ode na piemu ewo quarter wasiu no 10 million Ghana cedis. Abusuya we ne breaking news ye de bremo ye beda masesa mo jepe ne kokotie ana se ba beti sa ensem we edemaye POG Media so beda mase.
What do you think of that? Do you think that severe consequences or severe punishment should be meted out to these corrupt officials, in addition to retrieving the looted funds?
Yeah, it's not real. That's the obvious thing to do. If you allow people to go away with their booty and then after using it to invest, then they bring part of it to come and give to us. It will encourage people to continue to do the wrong thing. I mean, corruption, I've always said that if you want to fight corruption, you should make it a high-risk venture. A high-risk venture.
How so?
Yes. So that you know that, the consequences of your action, if you are caught, it will be there. If you don't have that at the back of your mind, and the consequence of your action is just, when I'm caught, I will just retrieve it after I've made profit out of it, it will encourage people. People will do any and everything to get the corrupt money, and when caught, they just, okay, come and take it. I'm telling you. And that is the reason why when you are caught, you pay it, you still serve jail term. To serve as deterrent. Because punishment is not just about the offender. It's about would-be offenders too. Potential offenders. So that if the person that today has offended the law is treated with kid gloves, it will not deter anybody. The venturing into corruption will not be high risk. You get the point. That is the reason why I said that fighting corruption, it should be a high risk venture so that it will deter people.
So what do you think is impeding Ghana as a country to fight corruption to the latter? Because corruption has lingered from
it's obvious. We all know we are unable to fight corruption because of politics. Partisanship is the result of the reason why we are unable to fight corruption. People who commit crimes run under the hide under the cloth of partisanship and for protection. And we have done this over and over. It's a cyclical thing. To the extent that even when the government of the day, even when the government is in a position and assume office, they fetch for their fellows and pardon them, or go for null prosequi. We've seen what the NDC did recently. Look at Segleme housing project, 200 million of taxpayer money to build 1,500 housing units. No, 2,000 housing units. 5,000 housing units. they end up building 1,506 housing units. Out of 5,000, they end up 1,000.
You said the NDC.
That's the NDC. Collins Dauda and his group. Because he was the minister then.
That was in 20.
They went and sat down and varied the terms of the contract.
That was in before the NPP took office.
2015, 2016.
Yeah.
And varied the terms. The terms that Parliament sat down, use our taxpayers' money as allowances to sit down. The loan that we gotten, 200 million loan and all those things. Now the matter was in court. We're going, I mean, we all know our legal system. Very slow and all that. Then the government that those culprits or accuse people came to power. And then they say, oh, go home, just go home. Don't come to court anymore. We are okay with the wrong that you did. I mean, seriously. And you think that is fighting corruption?
But at the time, it was the NPP that was in power.
At what time?
After 2016, the MP, Nana Akuffo.
And we took the matter to court. Yes. The matter was in court.
And you are saying who asked them to go home?
I'm saying that this government came.
Okay.
And said, oh, we are discontinuing with the case.
So after 8 years?
Not 8 years. The matter did not start immediately in another Zoom office.
But it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, like after 5 or so years. I've been hearing some apologies also say that, oh, once the matter has kept long, let them go. I mean, if a prosecution kept long, does that mean that the prosecution doesn't have a case? If that were the case, then the accused should also, be able to convince the court that they should go for a case of a case of no case. Yeah, I'm saying that naturally our court system is very slow. You might have a case, but it will take interminable number of years to finish or to come to a conclusion. And then you come to power and say, oh, all those people who bear NDC, who has NDC cards, all of you should go home. Then next, where are the MPP people? They should come.
That's what's going on.
That is what.
Saka,
that's what's happening. NDC.
How do you conclude on these findings?
Oh, we've seen all that.
Where?
We've seen the knowledge prosecutions that are going on.
So does that translate to NDC people should go home?
Yeah.
With NDC?
Yes, it's like go. Then where next? Where are the NPP people?
It's a procedure, and it's based on the discretionary powers of the Attorney General.
No, I'm saying that's abuse.
Given to him by the Constitution.
See, when you do that, when you do that thing, you got people on to commit corruption.
Are you saying that in the days of Attorney General or Godfred Dame,
yes,
he did not issue any knowledge process?
No, tell me.
He didn't.
You don't.
Didn't he exercise discretionary power?
No, he didn't exercise such reckless discretionary powers.
But the one in your estimation were not reckless; they were found.
I mean, tell me, you have been able to give you, and I can give you.
No, then you are saying that.
I can give you a lot of them.
You are saying that
the Opuni matters.
Okay.
I mean, so many of those things. Look at Bawumia, Oliver and Co. Look at what they did. At least let there be a sentence, or let the court process, travel it whole. You go on demonstration. You prevent people from accessing the hospital, a major hospital. You go and then interrupt or even steal a stole the key to the police. You were running away with it and all those things. At least let him go to court and even say, court, I'm sorry, I've offended the state. Then the judge can either say, okay, then go and sin no more. But the government come in and say, oh, all of you, I mean, you didn't commit anything. I mean, why?
But Oliver, Bawumia was exonerated or whatever it is, whether he was given bail in Nana Akufo-Addo's administration. He was given bail. Was it not under the same? Was it not under the same? Whatever it is.
No.
But he was left off the cuff.
No.
Whatever it is.
Please.
He was left off the cuff, and it was still under Nana Akufo-Addo's administration.
What argument are you making here?
But what are you making? What arguments are you making?
Bail.
What record do you have that the current Attorney General has left Vomawo to go scot-free? Is he not still under bail?
No. It's not under bail.
He's not under bail.
Yeah, it's discharged. I mean, there's a not a person cry. Go home. We are no longer interested. Your offense or whatever that happened when you took the key of the police and was running away and was insulting them and brought their name into disrepute, we are okay.
So that translates to NDC members.
We are okay with it.
That translates to NDC members should go, NPP members should come.
There are many of such cases, glaring corrupt cases. Look, when we have fugitives, people who are running away from justice, when a court of competent jurisdiction has a pronounced judgment, said Namtamakolo, who stole 500 million Ghana cedis of the taxpayer money. The court says she's guilty and is looking for her to go and serve her term. The government came and said, oh, we don't care. I mean, Tamakolo can sleep somewhere. Later on when she can whitewash whatever and let her go free.
That's what they said.
That is the implication of what is happening. You see, and when you do that, you cannot fight corruption. It's like, okay, let me have protection through my political party. Let me hide under a political party and commit murder. And everything will be okay for me. That is happening. And for me, I think that we cannot fight corruption until and unless we break that chain of people, running and hiding behind political party. Look, after this government, after the term of this government, and when the MPP government and Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia comes, you will see how the government had allowed people to do whatever that they wanted to do. Sometimes people even fear the opposition more than the government of the day. People fear the opposition because they know that these are the people that can come and prosecute me. But for my government, yeah, I'm okay with them. So it is not a joke at all. And when we say this, and people.
So do you agree that it is in due process that former public officials who are under prosecution today, do you think it's in due process? I
mean, if the law says, oh, they should just return the money and then go home, actually we need to, repeal those laws. We need to amend them and then make it punitive. You see, we have to make it very, very punitive so that you wouldn't even contemplate doing that. And you see, there's one thing. You sitting down, giving the opportunity. Every human being is prone to doing the wrong thing. That is when there are no checks and balances. When the system is lax, when there's laxity in the system, and then you look left and right and you realize that nothing will happen if you put your hand into the exchequer, nothing will happen. You will do it. The same people, look, Ghanaians obey the law outside, but when they come here, the same person who go outside to obey the law, when he comes here, he flouts it with impunity.
I agree with you.
It is because of enforcement. It's because they know that after committing it, they might not even, serve whatever punishment. Or even if there is, the punishment will be so lenient. That's the reason why.
They can pay their way out.
Yeah, they can pay their way. Who and all that. You remember the pastor, Salfu Amankwa, whatever. Went outside to go and say that after him, he doesn't even use double lances. When the police see him, they salute and all those things. Meanwhile, And in that jurisdiction, the US, where he was sitting down and talking, he dare not commit those things. So, I mean, people who want to pilfer the public purse should be punished and punished well, and not just retrieve, or not just refund whatever loot that they have taken. They have to punish. They should pay with interest, just like taxation. I mean, if you decide not to pay your tax and all those things, and you are paying, and the Commissioner General asks you to pay, you pay with interest of 125%. So that one alone is deterrent enough. So you wouldn't want to offend the Commissioner General in that regard. But in our case, Master, come and pay your money. Some laissez-faire attitude towards corruption. And when we even sign code of conduct for public officers, it's flouted. I remember, I don't want to do politics so much, but sometimes it's inevitable. I remember in John Mahama first time, he actually issued a code of conduct for his public officers. Oh, don't take a gift beyond a certain money or a certain value. Don't do A, B, C, D, and all those things. And he himself went around and flouted all those things. He himself went around and then flouted it by receiving fraud expedition. And when the matter went to
you
Shraj,
have evidence that he received
listen,
it.
that is why the evidence is what I'm going to tell you. And when the matter went to Shraj, that's what Shraj said. And Shraj indicted him. That you yourself, you have flouted your own code of conduct that you issued for your public offices. Why do you go and take a fraud expedition? A gift of such value. It's no longer a gift. When a gift goes, and if you even take that one, you need to even pay, what do you call it? A tax.
The gift tax.
The gift tax. And all those things were not done. So the first and foremost thing is that don't even take it at all.
Okay.
Don't take it at all.
All right, sir.
So punitive measures have to be given to public officers or people who commit financial offenses against the state, other than just asking them to refund.
Right. All right, Doc. Let me take your bite on this one.
So thank you very much once again. My sister, when it comes to corruption, I don't see it as a normal crime, but I see it as a crime against the state.
Okay.
And in law, I'm not a lawyer, but any crime against the state is classified as treason, isn't it?
No.
Almost.
It's classified as criminal.
Okay, to a larger extent.
It's a higher offense.
So I see it as a higher offense.
Yes.
Because you see,
if it's treason, then it's against the Constitution.
and it is, because there's nowhere in the Constitution that says that a public official can abuse his or her office and take a resources meant for the state for his or her personal gain. If you steal, let's say, $100,000 US, you have to remember that $100,000 US has an opportunity cost. That is a foregone benefit to the state. In terms of, for example, a primary school building, a 6-unit classroom block that could have been built for you and I, our children in that village in the north.
Yeah.
If you steal millions of Ghana cedis, you are depriving the rural folks of hospitals, clinics, good water, good roads to transport agricultural commodities to the town for you and I to get it at an affordable price, and then have a decent meal. So this issue of retrieving what has been stolen and letting go of the person, I think the current Constitutional Review Committee has to take a critical look at it. When he was talking, he made mention of certain things. I can tell you, and next week, my article that I will write on is on the political economy of corruption and how it impacts on the state, socially, economically. He made mention of cases that have been dropped and what have you. That even highlighted the point that I was trying to make in our earlier conversation on the Burkina Faso case. That our court system, the judiciary, need to be pegged. Because I don't see why a case, how can you handle one case for 5 years and yet somebody still say goat? You think that one is so simplistic? 2-3 days, a judgment is passed, you can sentence the.
Okay, abusuya wene ensema ekoso ewo political highway ne so Abronye DC ne honsem ene chese yede ebre mo a yesi no for 10 million Ghana cedis a enye asem keto akra bedamase se moje pene kokoti sa oduwe edi MI aha POG Media so bedamase.